Scrapped up. Scrapped up. How do I see if I politic this here? Yeah. I don't have to lose the camera. Peace, everyone. Let's see who's in here real quick. All right. We got Smells Goods. I see Latif in there. I saw 7. District 120, Wise U. West Coast Wise. Now I was born. West Coast Wise. I don't know what's going on with you. I had when remember I said that I haven't been getting no rest and I might be up early, but I guess I could tell by my voice that I just ended up getting up. I had a horrible nightmare. Horrible. That I was maintaining with West Coast Wise, right? I'm maintaining with West Coast Wise, and somehow he convinced me to take the vaccine. I have no idea why I went along with it. It's a dream. But there did come a point where I'm like, yo, Wise, the fuck we doing? And he just looked at me and shrugged. And he was being nonchalant about it. See, wherever we was at, it had to be Seattle. Because I didn't know where we was at. Like, he took me to his house. You checked out Prophet Jones? I told you, Saint. Listen, Friday, we're gonna be on the we're gonna be on the City Sciences channel on Friday. You know what I'm saying? District 120 said, I rarely have dreams. No, you have them, you just don't recall them. Yeah, in the dream and shit. And look, I'm ready to strangle Wise and shit. Oh man. BC Russ said I broke the fast, started with carrot juice, but only to have, then took raspberry lemonade and natural juices. Uh that's why let's start getting into that there. This right here is this is carrot, ginger, uh lemon, apples, and beets. 20 ounces. And we got this fruit cup right here. We got the fruit cups inspired by Shakanulu. We got mango and strawberries in here. And we got watermelon right there. Gotta check for white seeds. We don't wanna well actually, yeah. Just go ahead and don't tell Boy Mastermind. Just don't tag him into this. And we have here some unsweetened yogurt. This is coconut milk though, but it has the what do you call it? The probiotics. And we got this here too to set it off with. This is some ginger tea that I got from the health food store yesterday when I got these as well. Let's see if we can do that. All right. I got these here. These is ginger chews, but the guy he made them on the spot. Like these ain't they're not commercial. They got a new health food store. It's up on that's like 137, 138 in 7th Avenue. You know what I'm saying? And we have some things to break another fast here. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this guy, West Coast Wise, man. We gotta keep our eyes on him. Man. BC Real, why you throw Snoop Dogg under the bus, man? Why son, FDJ Beats. Good brother Divine says, we all dream. It's just the way that time happens in the mind. It's sometimes hard to recall dreams. Days in a dream can happen in minutes. Indeed. Yeah, we can't. Hey, listen, Prophet Jones said, ooh, spicy. Yes, that smell good. His name and your kind from previous broadcasts. He talking about now. Why, as you say, he had a messed up dream too. Hey, man. Yeah, that sounds good right there. Nas Born said he broke his fast with peaches and oatmeal. He made Atif say he's about to go get some coffee, but after he heard what we broke out fast with, he got to fall back. Smell good. So I'm about to break the fast after I clock out to get some broccoli intake. Indeed, I have yeah, see that's witches. That's wishes. That's witches. District 120. You have witches sitting on your chest. That's Lilith. That's Lilith getting out of pocket. District 120 said I have more so-called sleep paralysis episodes, if anything. So you've been introduced to Lilith, I see. Hold on, what's my little, get a little strawberry. I ain't gonna be able to eat all this. But if y'all could tell from all the stuff I'm breaking fast with, I'm not gonna be going outside for a little minute. Once I start on this carrot, beets, and ginger juice, all of y'all that y'all haven't been tuned in for since when we started on Monday. Yeah, we've been fasting. We've been fasting. We've been having like a group fast since Monday. That's actually good. This is lemon, ginger, carrot, beets, and apple. So you know what that's gonna do. Yes, your grandma is a wise woman. District 120 said his grandma said the same thing, which is all right. Yeah, Lilith is out of pocket. Oh, I didn't. Is that a remedy for that? District 120. I mean, smell good. Say raising your head while resting, elevate your upper body, type sleep number, hospital bed, or more pillows to keep you inclined. Well, I'm not going outside for a minute because these things are going to complete the detox of my body. I'm more than likely going to have to excuse myself at some point during live. But then after this, a couple hours, when I go outside, I saw the lady. I eat something a little more substantial, fuel back up. And tomorrow, back on the pull-up bar. That's interesting. Smell good said it happens to him anytime I lay flat on my back while resting, not while on my side of my stomach. Oh, Ron said that ginger is going to clean your blood. That's what it's going to do. It's going to attack your blood for impurities. No, this is ginger. This is ginger tea that I got from the health food store. Halftime. Yeah, I haven't been resting, but yesterday when I was out, I was out. Got this here. This is coconut milk yogurt. This is also, it has the probiotics in there. So that's gonna work on my system. Don't tell Born Mastermind I'm eating food that's white. I'll be a white man by the end of the week. Some of this. That's about a serving. And you know, the black man, it wouldn't be complete without watermelon. Shout out to Shaka Nulu for this inspiration. Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, all of this stuff is good too. This is all good immune stuff right here. Brother Devon said, "How do we get the youth to fast in this day and time?" I mean, you know, for one thing, I guess I can only really speak for how I got into it. You know what I'm saying? Where you know, the knowledge was just to the point where if that's what I had to do to get it, that's what I did. You know what I'm saying? But just in general, you know, yeah, that's a good question and a difficult thing because you know, it's like so much junk food. You know, just I'm saying dietary law in general. You know what I'm saying? You know, like before, like that's like almost an extreme step from where we at right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do we get them to, stop eating candy and drinking soda first? And just 1,000 things. That's food is like one of the main things that's marketed. How do we reduce the number of McDonald's? Clearly the best way is to not patronize them. What age should youth not be required to fast? Well, Nala said he's been fasting for over 30 years. Yeah, I can say the same. But it's more like well, first of all, you gotta wait till they have an understanding of what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? And when you're dealing with little kids like that, you gotta fast with them. You know what I'm saying? And then it's all, we pick 3 days, right? Because it's enough for you to have the effects of it, for you to gain the benefits of it, right? Without being so long that you start to challenge the body's ability to not go past 6. You know what I'm saying? So, depending on the kid, you don't necessarily have to fast 3 days. You know what I'm saying? Or even, we went total. You know what I'm saying? We fasted equality, food, everything. I think I still only got up to like 4 or 5 bottles of water. That could explain the nightmares. The brain is mostly water. I have times that I'm not even there yet. I'm trying to get the youth around me to stop messing with Funyuns, Oreos, and sugary cereal, right? That's the same thing I said. That first we have to deal with dietary law. But I mean, what's difficult about things now, at least from my standpoint, is that, we talking about kids, right? But see, you got grown people now that was raised on junk food. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of them, like, see, for me, junk food was something that, in the rare occasions, you know what I'm saying, where we might be out shopping, you know what I'm saying? Me and whatever adult I was around, right? And then, we might be out a long time. They might be tired. They might have other things to do when they get back, right? So then you might, they might say, get some McDonald's, but it wasn't like an everyday thing. Like I used to rest around the corner from McDonald's, rarely ate it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know about the existence of fruit roll-ups, Pop-Tarts, Capri Sun. I didn't know about none of that until my little sister came around. So see, even to this day, I'm not really a junk food person. You know what I'm saying? Another thing that I've seen that's had effects on them, right, is if you let them taste some fresh fruits and vegetables, You know what I'm saying? If you let them taste some fresh fruits and vegetables, like if you ever, like you go to Florida and eat a mango or orange, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure it's the same in like California. You know what I'm saying? Like if you someplace where they're picking ripe fruit, you know what I'm saying? Uh, you know, no processes, no nothing. Yo, that's a life-changing experience. Devon said exactly my point. People are like zombies with food, eat anything put in the table in front of them. So Atif said when he stopped dealing with equality, he had nightmares for several months. Yes, trying to tell you it's not good. VC Realm said he saw the final episode of uh the Wu Tang. Is that like the final for the season or it's over? Said depicted them performing at the Fever in the Bronx. It was that live in there, especially if the crowd ain't like your stage show. I mean, the Fever, that was actually the second Fever. The first Fever was over there by 107th in Jerome, but they had put a Fever by they brought it back and they put it by right there where Burnside and Jerome meet Webster Avenue. Um, I was there that night. Um, yeah, the Fever was crazy. The Fever was like, uh, I mean, yeah, I mean, it was popping. I wouldn't say it was quite the tunnel, but it was, it had some juice in the tunnel. It used to, people was in there. Um, but it was just mad hood. It was just mad hood. You know, security was wild. Security was just some gangster cats that they found. Like, hey, yeah, say, I seen them throw people out the back door, man. Drag them across the dash. See, at the feeler, when they threw you out the back door, using no man's land. But yeah, the fever was jumping. Well, all right, halftime, yeah, we both was mind to check mine. Our chief said also McDonald's was likely a wee bit better than today as they got many more tricks now. Indeed, you know, uh, as the technology improved, you know what I'm saying, we're eating technology. You know what I'm saying? Like you know, one of the first things the Industrial Revolution was implied to, you know, was food because that was the, main industry. Societies was agrarian societies. So that was one of the very first things, you know what I'm saying? Tractors, uh, the fertilizers, all of these things, the Industrial Revolution, first just sped up the production of it. But, after a while, it started to affect the quality of the food that we get. You know what I mean? So, yeah, the amount of high fructose corn syrup you're getting now in the food, the amount of fillers, did anybody see, I'm pretty sure it was Subways, where they did like a DNA test or something. They did like a DNA test or something for the chicken. It was no chicken in it. And I seen a guy, there's a video, I'm pretty sure it's on YouTube. I seen a guy just he made some chicken. He made some chicken like the patties that they make, and he took like 3 strips of real chicken breast. It's supposed to be a chicken breast patty. He took like 3 strips, and he had his little chemistry magic, and he made the whole patty. Shemel Good said, God took me to El Cartoon restaurant in Divine Sea back in the 90s. Jap Preem showed and proved to me how good new vegan food is on Georgia Ave. Yeah. Yeah, I know, but you should see my abs though. You should see my abs. My abs is popping. But yeah, I see it in my face. In my face, it looks like I lost weight, right? But that's how you know I wasn't bullshitting you when I told you I was fasting. Why said processed sugar is highly addictive. I've heard, I'm not sure how they measure that, but I've heard that sugar is actually the most addictive substance. But because sugar, it ruins lives in another kind of way. You know what I'm saying? Through illness. It's not the type of thing where, you lose your job. You know what I'm saying? If anything, you see, sugar is more likely to make you keep your job. You know what I'm saying? In the form of coffee and donuts. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's not really classified by that. You know what I'm saying? But, it fits all the other descriptions. You know what I'm saying? Meaning, this shit is going to kill you. This shit is not good for you. People that already have diabetes still can't stay away from it. You know what I'm saying? If you stop eating sugar, then you got to find some kind of methadone. You know what I'm saying? Like equal, some other kind of artificial sugar, artificial sweetener. So, it's definitely, but like I said, because it doesn't destroy lives in the same way as crack or heroin, right? It's just not going to be seen like that. But I have heard that sugar is the most addictive substance. Natural God Allah introduced eating primarily at home and not outside of his own kitchen. Yeah, there's a certain science to that. there's a certain science to that where, see, everybody kitchen got it's a particular bacteria in there. Not necessarily bad bacteria, good bacteria too. You know what I'm saying? But, that particular mix, that's why sometimes, when you remember back in the day, that was a thing back in the day. Like now I don't eat everybody's food. See, that ain't always just the taste of the food or the person did something wrong. You know what I'm saying? It's that they got whole different bacteria in there. You know what I'm saying? That might don't agree with your bacteria. Ooh, see, I can't eat that much sugar. I can't eat that much sugar. Smell good, said take them to the farm. See, that's what I'm saying. That was the good part. Like I said, when I used to have to go down south and we used to have to farm, that was the hard work part. But the good part was that we lived in a kind of paradise and shit. Like when you didn't have to go in the field, yo, it was pecan trees, peach trees, pear trees, plum trees. Uh, it was little berries, those little like raspberries and blackberries growing all along the fence. You know what I'm saying? You know, we was eating chickens that my grandmother she killed that earlier today. You know what I'm saying? We used to get the eggs. We used to get the eggs. We used to have to take a bowl and go in the chicken coop and get the eggs. You know what I'm saying? So, that experience is why, like, see this right here? Why I talk about when I was little, I used to put strawberry gummy candy in a strawberry soda, put strawberry pop rocks in it, drink it, and be chewing strawberry gum. See, I can't even eat that much sugar. See, because my mom's had also grew up on the farm. So she didn't really uh she didn't it was against her rules for me to eat candy. Like I never been to the store, she bought me no candy. Like unless it was Halloween or some shit like that. But nah, ain't gonna be no candy. You know what I'm saying? So I just never developed that taste for it. Like, see that type of candy, that type of concoction right there, you talking about, Divine God? I'll feel my blood thicken and I ain't gonna feel right. Especially now, that's something that I noticed. I don't know if it's because I just started paying attention more, but I noticed that once I got the knowledge and I stopped eating pig and then, and fasting and everything, I started feeling the effects of the food. You know what I'm saying? Like if I eat some chips, I don't feel, something in my cells. Like my cells don't feel, uh, rejuvenated or, whatever you know what I'm saying? And then if you eat some, you know, food that's I'm not saying good quality by expensive, you know what I mean? But, you eat something that comes off the farm, you know what I'm saying? I feel it I feel the nutritiousness. I feel the nutrition. It just has a different feeling in my cells. Now, Jalal said you can get fruit for the low and is what you said? Ortholog. What's ortholog in California, especially riding through the desert before you get to LA or vice versa going up north. Yeah, I mean, I would think so. You know what I'm saying? Being that what they said, like some like 80% or something of the fruits and vegetables is coming out of California. Smell good said grow veggies in the home or on a balcony. Either make your own in order to show them. Yeah, there's a thing that I seen. Uh, maybe one day I get a chance to post a link to it, right? But it's in the house, right? And it's like a hydroponic system where you grow microgreens. You know what I'm saying? And it's from what it was a black woman that called to the school. You know what I'm saying? And she seen that we had the garden or whatever, and she was she was the one that introduced me to it. But it's like a hydroponic system. It has the lights in there. It's like a little clear cylinder. You know what I'm saying? And you could grow microgreens on it. I'm sure it's other things you can grow if you have the right knowledge. Latif said the fever was on 116th Street. Yeah, I don't know what fever you talking about. Fever was in the Bronx. Smoker said meth in the booth got me a little emo when all the woo was vibing to METHOD, man. That song was actually a old song. Like a lot of songs that came out back in the days in New York or from New York artists, especially in that era. See, RZA and Jay-Z is the ones that got the reputation, right, for selling their music out of the trunk, going independent and all that. But that was really pioneered, to my recollection, the first artist that was doing that. Like you had DJs that was always selling their mixtapes, you know what I'm saying? But the first artist was Showbiz and AG. And that album, their first album that they put out, it only had about 2 new songs on it. We have been listening to that album in the Bronx for like 2 years. You know what I'm saying? And then, when they got the deal, it was all love. Nobody, we still listen to it, you know what I'm saying? Like it was brand new when it came out, you know what I'm saying, officially. But, that was a detour. Just saying all that to say that METHOD Man was a song like that. If you ever had their very first tape, the cassette tapes that they were selling, right? The A side was Protect Your Neck, right? And the B side was METHOD Man, right? And on there they had 2 versions. I can't remember what they called the first version. I think it was the smoked out version and the homegrown version. And on the homegrown version, he says 92 for the woo. That was a song that was out, like it was jamming on Staten Island. People on Staten Island been knew about that song. Divine God said refined white sugar is 1 molecule different than heroin. This is why it's so addictive. That's, I think I've heard some of that nature before. That I've been hear about the history of labor spying in the U.S. You talk about like labor unions? Atif said, someone told me I looked younger yesterday. Yeah, that's what happened. That's why listen, now you know. Now you know why the guys always look so young. You know? See, that's what I be saying. That's another thing why I be saying, like, saying, listen, don't tell me how to eat, Pete. You know, I'm around all dudes that look half their age and shit. You know, you try to tell me how to eat. When you get 150 years old, I eat just like you. Letter for letter, son. But in the meantime, I mean, I'm pretty good at it. Probably some things that's not the best. See, plus a lot of things too, it's about your activity. You see what I'm saying? Even this building, all of this is letting out energy. I'm using up energy. You know what I'm saying? I'm working out, all that. You see what I'm saying? That's why you see a lot of athletes, they blow up and get fat. Especially high school athletes. Because when you're an athlete, you can eat almost anything. You got to put some healthy stuff in there. But you can eat almost anything. There's some athletes that's famous for eating junk food. But because of that activity, it don't have as many negative effects. Halftime says more addictive than heroin. Yeah, it is. Smokers said that's what true self has to work on continuously. Abdominal muscles. Yeah, right now, I've discovered is for some reason I was doing planks wrong. I can't figure out, but I never, I wasn't like people kept saying like that's the best exercise for the stomach. And I wasn't really getting that out of it. But then I seen that, a few mistakes in my form. You know what I'm saying? But ever since I started doing that and some back bridges. One guy said doctors say sugar should be named an addictive drug. I mean, if that happened, that would do tremendous. That would do, tremendous good. In the direction of improving dietary law. That one thing right there. So good said I got a little workout plan for next time. Yeah, yeah, that's right. I actually have a plan to do something like that. But it never just really came totally to fruition. Smell good said I used to not eat from gas stations. Now they got food in Wawa, Sheets, Dash in Royal Farms. Yeah, I still haven't gotten around to eating in gas stations. Sometimes maybe in the most desperate of situations, you know what I'm saying? I eat, like I might eat McDonald's only because, if you're in a town where every restaurant has a pig on the awning, I take the McDonald's. Hey, at least I know what this is. You know what I'm saying? Like some places where I go and it's like, just like I said, I'm a little bit apprehensive about what kind of bacteria they got in their kitchens, then yeah, I'll go for McDonald's. Now, I sit down south kitchen and field eating fresh plums, eating peaches at my grandmother's backyard, and of course slopping the damn hall. You know, I used to get involved with that too. You know what I'm saying? Not voluntarily, but yeah, that was another thing they used to make us do. It used to be this. It was like these boxes of rotten fruits and vegetables, like rotten, totally rotten, smell horrible. And it was this like cauldron. It was this cauldron that she had in the backyard. You know what I'm saying? And we used to have to fill it up with water, right? And they used to make a fire under it. So it started boiling. And then we used to have to put the rotten fruit and vegetables in the water, right? And it was a whole bunch of worms. There's a whole bunch of worms that used to come out. And we had to stir it. Then we had to take it out of there and take it down to the hog pen and throw it over the fence into the trough. You know what I'm saying? So even from that experience, right? When I came into the knowledge, right, I had already known that the pig is the filthiest animal on farm. Like the things they told me put it in a different perspective. You know what I'm saying? You know, because at the time, in terms of, even with that, you notice that, pig, they call it pork. You know what I'm saying? It's not like turkey. After they cook it, they still call it turkey. Chicken, after they cook it, they still call it chicken. You see, cow, after they cook it, they call it beef. And pig, after they cook it, they call it pork. So I just knew that, by the time it became pork, they made it taste good. That's all I just think about. You know what I'm saying? But once I came into the knowledge and they made me think about it, like, yeah, son, they do eat some really shit. You know what I mean? So, I guess I should be glad that that I learned that lesson, that seed was planted. 793 said grandma grew a lemon tree in her backyard, tested an orange right off a tree while driving in Japan pre-Fukushima. Best ever tasted. Growing ginger now. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's like I said, that's the solution. We all giving our examples of, the impact that, like I said, it's a life-changing experience. You know what I'm saying? When you taste how some of these fruits really taste. You know what I'm saying? Like people in New York, if you under 30 and you haven't, eaten in other places, you haven't been to Florida or California, you don't know what a real orange tastes like. Like oranges ain't even orange really in New York no more. I mean, some places you go, they got good ones, but oranges is like deep yellow. Ooh. Y'all wasn't no joke, man. See, I can't, there's no way I can eat this kind of sugar that y'all talking about here. District 120 said we would fill up plastic bags with sugar and Kool-Aid and be eating it out of hand. See, that's some hood little kid shit. that's that's some shit, man. See, like the shit Divine Guy was saying. I can see white kids doing that too, saying. Like Kool-Aid, straight Kool-Aid, sugar, no water. That's some hood nigga shit, man. Oh man, I bet you half the little kids that used to do that with you went to jail. The original Mr. 120. You coming in a little bit late. We have some carrot. What is this again? This is carrot, lemon, ginger, beets, and apples. It's right here. You can't really see what's in here no more. This is strawberries and mangoes. And I bought some coconut yogurt for I bought some coconut yogurt. Don't tell boy mastermind I'm eating food that's white. And you know, it wouldn't be complete for the black man without watermelon. You know, speaking of that, you know, nigga shit, you know, I do that sometimes. Just on GP, right? I eat fried chicken and watermelon at the same time. You ever tried that? Divine God says sugar's effect on the brain, like sex releases dopamine. Sugar and dopamine are also heavily linked. When an individual eats sugar, the brain produces huge surges of dopamine. This is similar to the way the brain reacts to the ingestion of substances like heroin and cocaine. Well, at the end of the day, that's you know, all negative behavior, you know, comes down to how your brain reacts by releasing the dopamine. You know what I'm saying? And then for women, they get an extra hit from something called oxytocin. You know, I guess for everybody, but it has a bigger effect on women. You know, oxytocin is also you know, it brings about euphoric states, but it's also a chemical that causes women to emotionally bond. You know what I'm saying? Like it's something that they release a lot of oxytocin when they give birth. You know what I'm saying? It's one of the hormone promotes that bond with the child. So, you know, what I'm saying is, you know, Instagram, you know what I'm saying? Hanging in the street, you know what I'm saying? There's things that's releasing the dopamine, right? That we're not realizing, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, it's not, you know, causing that kind of immediate impact. You know what I'm saying? That, you know, crack or heroin have, you know what I'm saying? You know, people, you know, you haven't seen large groups of people, you know, like where they interview somebody, right? And they be like, you know, the person is homeless. And they be like, yo, you know what, how your life came to this and shit. And they be like, yo, start fucking with Instagram. You know, the next thing, I was on Twitter. Even though that's what's happening. You know what I'm saying? You know, some people been getting high since Yahoo groups. You know what I mean? Got caught on that Yahoo. You know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, shit, you know what I'm saying? It's just a weekend thing. You know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, you mainlining my space, man. Just mainlining my space, man. Try to get off my space. You know what I'm saying? Think you found something that you could regulate. Next thing you know, you full-blown Facebook addict. It's working the same way, and it is destroying lives, right? But just not in the same direct kind of way. And see, you bringing that up, right, is the science of just fasting. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes you dealing with something and you don't even realize the impact that it's having on you until you step away from it. You see what I'm saying? And it could be good and bad. You understand what I mean? You step away from something that's good and then you be like, damn, shit ain't been the same since. $793 said, my man's Uptown has been developing a hydroponic rooftop turnkey system. He's been working on marketing to larger markets. Word. I wanna talk to him. I got several ideas that might work out. But eventually, the garden that I have right now, right, in the yard at the school, the different construction plans that we have, to build something, is probably going to take out the garden. You know what I mean? But that's what I've been saying the whole time when everybody was like, yo, what about the garden? I'm like, don't worry about that. We can put it on the roof. You know what I'm saying? So, definitely in the summertime, we'll be good. But, in the winter, that's what I wanted to get like a greenhouse, and also have an indoor. SW said, oh yeah, the Protect Your Neck, yeah, the single, when it was first a single. Yeah, it's a lot of versions of it because they wasn't able to print up that much copies. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, there's versions of it that got loud on it. There's versions of it that don't got loud on it. Halftime said I had it on vinyl. $793, so the first Lost Boys album was like that, as we were playing a good long while before it dropped, running around with some Southside cats. Yeah, a lot of people was already popping. A lot of people was already popping in South Jamaica. You know what I'm saying? Like in Jamaica, Queens, right? Like before 50 Cent, before In the Club, I would say for maybe like whenever he came back from getting shot, whenever he got shot and he came back to making music, 50 Cent was the biggest artist in Jamaica. Not in the world, not in the rest of the city, probably not even in the whole Queens. But 50 Cent, he was like, say like Boosie in Shreveport. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, he's not bigger than Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? He probably not getting it like Jay-Z or whatever. But in Shreveport, Boosie is bigger than Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, nobody was bigger than Nipsey and, and Crenshaw. You know what I'm saying? Some people that's, but yeah, they definitely did have uh uh artists that was doing their thing out there. So let's see, let's Google. You want me to Google labor spine? Let's see. So this is just Wikipedia real quick, but it says labor spying has involved people recruited or employed for the purposes of gathering intelligence, committing sabotage, sowing dissent, or engaging in other similar activities in the context of an employee and labor organization relationship. Spying by companies on union activities has been illegal in the United States since the National Labor Relations Act of 1935. According to the American Management Association, nearly 80% of major U.S. companies actively spy on their employees. I mean, yeah, I mean, I knew about this. What is the like what where's the page? Yeah, what is the VC? So when you in a town where you're not sure about the food choices, you go to Subway. I mean, I've tried that before, but Subway is just horrible. Like I'm pretty sure Subway is the most processed food restaurant. Like they're the restaurant whose food is processed the most. You know, if I'm not mistaken, the chicken that they did the DNA test on and it didn't have no chicken in it, I think it was Subway. You know, and the other shit about Subway is, dude, where's the meat? Get a turkey sandwich, and the turkey is on there like the mayonnaise or the mustard or something. Like you just barely spread it on the bread. Grown ass man, dog. So that's what you could tell. So I was fasting, right? This is another reason why you don't want to come back to you know what I'm saying. Don't see it's mentally. See, like right now, I'm already feeling full. Cause see, your stomach shrinks when you fasting. That's another thing that happens, right? That people don't realize. So see, you eat too much, man. You know what I'm saying? You It's gonna be worse than the itis. You know what I'm saying? And you don't want to be taking your body from extreme to extreme. See what I'm saying? That's when it makes, you know, you got to get the mental benefit of it. See, that's why I really, at the end of the day, I ended up fasting probably 4 days. Well, not three and a half. But just to show you that, you know, coming off the fast, right, is just as important as going on the fast. You know what I'm saying? Man, yeah, look, a person could fast and then come off and eat pork chops. I mean, that's people do that. I'm gonna go ahead and cover this shit up. top back on that. Don't want to overdo it. Let's finish my juice, my juicy juice. Devon God said, I said that when you left me on the live that I was raised around hogs and they stink in person. Yeah. Like you ever be on the highway? You ever be driving on the highway and one of those trucks pass, or you pass one of those trucks? Like there's whole states that stink. Like I don't know how, a lot of people don't like driving. I actually like driving places. I like to, go through, stop at the different cities and shit. A lot of places I never been there, like maintain it. You know what I'm saying? But like VC Realm, I've been through 55. What's that, 55? Where you come through the Golden Arch. Well, I think it's silver though, but the Golden Arc. I've been to Indianapolis. Some places I've been, like since I've been to LA. You know what I'm saying? Stay in a hotel and all that. I'm saying, other places I just stopped. You know what I'm saying? Got something to eat, checked out the scene. You know what I'm saying? So I actually like that. When you go on places, like when you on that road that goes through St. Louis, you pass through like Jesse James, because what is they call it Will Rogers Highway, and you pass through all of these towns, and they have the signs on the highway right there, like this Jesse James lived over here, and Davy Crockett lived over there. Shit like that is intriguing to me. Yeah, I guess I could tell. I like trivia somewhat. I just don't get caught up in it. My God said, when someone suggested I not eat pork, I didn't even second guess them. I just listened. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I already knew that was some savage shit. You know what I'm saying? But, even like I said, I didn't really know about ingredients. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm saying, like reading, like I knew, you know, the ingredients of a meal. That's how I looked at ingredients. You know what I mean? Like you got the chicken and the rice and the peas. Hold on one second. Check something here. So halftime said, I'm glad you brought this topic. You brought up this topic because I got a question. Can you share how you would explain to an 85 why no one should eat pork in terms they can understand? I mean, it's just against our law. Like you could get biblical on them. You know what I'm saying? But really, you got to explain dietary law. You know what I'm saying? Ooh, I'm back. But yeah, you really got to explain dietary law. You know what I'm saying? And just understanding what part, right? You gotta, if you check them out to 85, like I said, if it's like a kid, look, that's our law. We don't eat it. But if you explain it to different people, you know what I'm saying, people that have a little more knowledge, you also got to explain the science of uh, ecological systems, you know what I'm saying, in food chains, you know, all these different things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? That, you are what you eat, right? It's easy enough to explain that, right? So now you have to explain to them that, okay, what you ate is what it ate. You understand what I'm saying? So, if you eating cows, not advocating for that, but just saying if you eating that, right, you know that they eat grass. And the grass eats sunlight and oxygen. I mean, sunlight and carbon dioxide. You see what I'm saying? But if you eating pig and the pig is eating slop, you know, now if you ever run into an old time 85, I'm talking about the kind of 85, I doubt they still alive. Yeah, I'm talking about like my grandmother, she was born in 1924. You know what I'm saying? And that was always her excuse, was that uh in the last days before they killed a pig, they put it up on some kind of platform and just feed it bread. So that was supposed to purify the pig as opposed from a whole lifetime of eating slop. Uh, but you might catch that one. You know what I mean? But I'm saying, and what's important about doing it in that way, right? And explaining the whole ecological systems and food chain systems, right? Is also to now you can show them how every every atmosphere has a swan. You know what I'm saying? So now you can explain that there's swine of the sea. You understand what I mean? And swine of the air. You understand what I mean? You don't want to eat buzzards. You know what I'm saying? Once you explain across the board that, see, these animals are scavengers. We shouldn't be eating. I don't know if you was on the other day but you can look up entropy in the food chain, the law of entropy in the food chain, right? And it tells you how you know you have the plants, of course, is primary, right? Because all the energy is, ultimately coming from the sun, right? So then you have those primary animals that eat those animals, right? Then you have secondary animals, right? Like us, lions, tigers, and then you have tertiary animals, you know what I'm saying? And down there, you got a lot of scavengers, you know what I'm saying? So each one of those uh, animals, as well as the plants, have processed that sunlight energy. You getting the sunlight plus some bullshit that they put on it. So it's well, at least that's the way I go by my dietary law. You know what I'm saying? That's how I make a decision on the other things that I don't eat. You see what I'm saying? That's why we don't eat stuff that come out the water that's over a certain weight, right? Because it could possibly be a scavenger, you understand what I mean? Or a tertiary kind of animal. You know what I'm saying? You want something that eats small fish, that eats plankton and shit like that. See what I'm saying? Because the plankton is doing the same thing in the water. You understand what I'm saying? In the algae, which algae generally takes up too much oxygen, so it kills the fish. But just saying that those is all things that grow off the sunlight. Halftime is saying I'm relearning that we can't convince everyone, but I'm also learning how to better approach it. But it's like I said, some people, first of all, you got that's like we was just saying, food is another thing that releases tremendous dopamine. You know what I'm saying? And you got people, just once if you define addiction, right, as a person partaking in an activity, right, and they gotta do it, even if it's destroying their life, their self, everything around them, they're addicted to that thing. You know what I'm saying? And food fits that category. It's people that know look, people got gout, all kinds of shit, you know, and they can't stop. You know what I'm saying? So, you're fucking with people's addiction. It's like you ever see somebody try to get a crackhead to just stay in the house for one night? You ever, listen, have you ever seen any drug, right? When they came, like you ever see a drug addict, right? They come to a house with a person, you know what I'm saying? Say it's their moms, they come home, they try and get some money. So they go back outside to get some crack, right? But they moms be like, nah, sit down. I got some food right here. Yo, eat something first. You know, look, why don't you take a bath? You know what I'm saying? Look, they be like, look, just spend the night, man. Just one night, man. Get away from that stuff. You ever seen that? Have you ever seen the outcome of that? See, that's what's happening when you telling people about dietary law. That's what's happening. They thinking about all the things. Like, see, look, give you a perfect example. See, like I said, about I didn't know about ingredients. So when they first said, no pig, I'm thinking, bacon, pork chops, ham, you know what I'm saying? Like, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? You know, they was things that, I guess I was cool with, before I got the knowledge, you know what I'm saying? But that's what I'm thinking I got to cut out. You know what I'm saying? But at the time, I'm like, kids, other things. You know, I'm a kid. Fuck it, we can eat hamburgers. Say, you know what I'm saying? Listen, can we still eat hamburgers? Can we still eat fried chicken for the chicken place? I fuck it. I think I could make it. Then they showed me the list. Wait, toothpaste got pig in it? How the fuck they get it in there? Like I remember the first time, right? The envelope, you know, the envelope glue, some of them got pig in it. And I'll never forget one time my son, he wanted to lick the envelope, right? So we told him, like, nah, don't lick that. It got pig in it. And he looked at it. He looked at it for like 10 seconds. He's like, that's sneaky. You know what I'm saying? But see, also, I'm gonna tell you another thing you do when you explain all that, right, too, is you gotta explain that, listen, you know, the stuff that I just explained, that's the bottom of the barrel. But see, a lot of this other stuff we talking about, like, look, if you're Divine God talking about he used to eat sugar and Kool-Aid, you just eating straight sugar and Kool-Aid, no water. You know, look, you might as well eat bacon. There's some shit that if you're going to do that, is actually going to kill you faster than the pig. But see, for me, that's why, look, you're not going to see me eating raccoon, possum, you know. I never, you know, even as an 85, I'm just not a picky eat. I'm a picky eater. I don't eat, you know, exotic shit. Like there's a lot of shit I might have tasted once or twice, you know, but like, yeah, I don't think I ever ate duck. You know what I'm saying? Pheasant and all that type of shit. I don't eat that. You know, I'm not saying nothing's wrong with it. I really don't know the science of those things, but I'm just saying that I never really was too experimental with my eating. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, let me catch back up here. 793 said always use lemon juice to break and balance the white sugar sweetness, adding the Kool-Aid packet or Chinese tea bags for iced tea. Yeah, now see, yeah, exactly. Without question. A little, you know, chop up a lemon, you know, squeeze it in there first, then chop it up, put the pieces in there, some Kool-Aid. But see, I used to like the pre-sweet Kool-Aid. Too much sugar, man. Like all that where the sugar is collected on the bottom and all that. I don't like that. I can say that now. If it's anything I was savage about with sugar, it was with cereal. That I actually, when I was a kid, I liked unsweetened sugar better than sweetened sugar. I mean, unsweetened cereal better than sweetened cereal because I put my own sugar. And when I put sugar in cereal, I put sugar. I'm talking about when you scrape the bottom. When you scrape the bottom, sugar is covered up. Like it is the sugar is too much sugar to even dissolve in the milk. Why is you should make it taffy? why is, why is you was making the taffy in there? Said Kool-Aid, sugar, and coffee creamer makes taffy that interior cipher hustle. Hey, listen, man. If you want to know the most resourceful, smartest motherfucker in the universe, you gotta go to penitentiary, saying, everybody in penitentiary is MacGyver. Everybody in the penitentiary say is MacGyver. Yeah, that's what I was about to tell you. I tell you that was Harlem World. Which Harlem World was an early place too, though. You know what I'm saying? That all of that was early. That was the earliest places where that was going on. You know what I'm saying? Because uh to my knowledge, right, uh Curtis Blow, he his park days was around Polo Grounds. You know what I'm saying? So to my, I mean, it was always, Harlem was always the place that was moving and shaking with the bars and clubs, you know what I mean? But in terms of when people first started, because remember the park happened, right? Because at first they wasn't really allowed in the clubs. So, different places. I think Curtis Blow was also going out to Queens. PC Ram said, I don't eat meat, so it don't matter to me. But I'm saying if it came down to it, most of the time bring snacks. Yeah, I ain't old school like that. It's something about that I'm resistant to, because I used to hate that. I used to hate that. You know, that's it. You know how it's some shit where you like, nah, it's some slave shit. Like it's some shit like, look, I don't eat bread pudding. I don't eat banana pudding. I don't eat none of that. You know, if something makes me think like, yeah, this is some slave shit, right? I don't eat. You know what I'm saying? And all that, see, because my grandfather, right, he's bugged out character. They told me about back in the days, like in the 50s and the 60s, when they used to go back down south. My grandfather used to take 1 and 9. You wouldn't take 95. And for those that don't know, 1 and 9 go all the way down south. 9 cuts off somewhere, but 1 goes all the way to the Florida Keys. You know what I mean? But the thing about 1 and 9 is there's lights on 1 and 9 all the way down. And my uncle said, yo, they should be in the car, right? And you be like, yo, I gotta go to the bathroom, right? My grandfather would be like, all right, yeah, I got you. Like, yo, they passing places and shit. He like, yo, that place right there, they got a bathroom. Like, nah, we can't stop it. you know, but my grandfather was well aware of, the Jim Crow South. My uncle, he's born in Harlem. He don't know nothing about that. You know what I'm saying? So all of that, we gotta bring our food so we don't stop. But yeah, I remember back in the days, uh, you have a a whole bunch of fried chicken. You got a whole bunch of fried chicken and bread and shit. You know what I'm saying? You be riding down the street, riding down the highway, Be like, yeah, I'm hungry. You think you gonna stop. And then they be like, you got some food right here? Like, nah, man, I don't want this, man. You can't go to McDonald's. But that is the best. That's the best way to do it, guys. Just bring your own. BC Rel said, I know exactly what you're talking about. Whenever I've had to drive through one of those small towns where it's a Pizza Hut, McDonald's, and a Taco Bell, and that's it. Yeah, man, that's horrible, man. You know, uh, Divine Truth said, question, would you suggest fasting as something that should be implemented and done regularly? And if so, how often? Yeah, you gotta, you know, you could come up with different schedules. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, it's different ways to fast. You know what I mean? You might, you might, you might do a fruit fast. You know what I mean? Where you just eating fruit because remember, if you fast, but you deal with something that, that's a way of detoxing the body. You know what I'm saying? You could use it as that. You know, you fast 3 days every month. You could fast one day every week. You know what I'm saying? In terms of the health benefits, you know what I'm saying, and the mind benefits. You know what I mean? But it's definitely something that should be implemented regularly. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, when we sit there and speak of all the benefits that come from it, why would we just, see, like for me, like I said, I remember times when, I'm counting down the clock. There was times when, listen, I had the plate sitting in front of me. You know what I'm saying? When as soon as like I calculated like, all right, this is the last time I ate right here. It was 9 o'clock. At 9 o'clock in 1 second, I'm digging in. You see what I mean? But now you see I got more discipline. You see what I mean? Because I did it a lot more times, and I have a greater understanding of what I'm getting from it. Oh, that's the 44. I mean, but I think 55 leads to 44 or something, right? I know that's an expensive ass road too, saying you gotta pay like $40 if you ride that whole turnpike. And that was back that was back in the time when I went out there. Probably $100 to take that whole turnpike now. Yeah, Knowledge a lot. Yeah, see, Knowledge a trucker, so I know you seen it, man. Now say, yeah, when I was saying that, it's whole states, man, that you go in that just stinks, man. Like if you, especially it's like certain times you be on the road, and I guess it's like slaughter season or something. So it's just mad trucks of all kinds of animals riding around. Or you ever pass one of those industrial farms? Oh my word! I'm talking about the ones with the animals on it. Also, I said I broke my 72 hour last year with steamed veggies. A terrible idea for me, man. Stomach cramps. I went to bed with a frown that night. Yeah, that's what we discussing. How, you got the coming off the fast, is just as important as going on fast. Halftime, for example, in 85 might say, wait a minute, many of y'all blow trees, have a drink sometimes. I actually had the conversations with my guy recently about a plant's life and energy. Yeah, I mean, you could go through all that, you know what I'm saying? But see, look, even with that, right, it's clear that uh, there's swine of stimulants too. Those types of stimulants, like, let's be clear, there's swine of stimulants too. So, the even the foods that we eat, like I said, I get a different feeling from the different food. Like if I'm somewhere where I'm eating somewhere, it's like, oh man, this is the only fucking shit. Like, it's you know what I'm saying? The whole energy is totally different. You know what I'm saying? You know, and uh, I would explain the phenomenon the same way. I think most of the people that come around me, they're ready. They deal with trees. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think that most of the people that come around me is really, in fact, I would people come around me, I get more can we still do that? You know what I'm saying? But you got people, there's people that listen, they made their decision like that. Like rather to be a Muslim or or uh or become the fire. 793rd says certain whales eat all plankton. Yeah, I mean, those whales, I mean, I don't know what whale meat tastes like, you know what I'm saying? But if given a choice between that and pig, yeah, you would pick the whale. Yeah, and I think yeah, I don't. Now I was born said I was just building with a brother and I started thinking it's 114, the history of the Black Muslim. Um, no, I wouldn't say that, but the 114 is well, you can look at it that way. You know what I'm saying? Just because that's the perspective that it's from. You know what I mean? But it does take you, right, from day one, right, here on the planet, right, where it says ever since he made it, right, in the knowledge degree. And then by the time you get to the knowledge culture degree, it's telling you about the present day in time, right? Which for that degree is 1933. Like that's the only thing that's more recent in the lessons than the knowledge culture degree, right? Where it tells you what they teaching in that day and time, MGT and GCC. You know what I'm saying? You could also say the fruit of Islam, right? Everything else in there, like you said, is different points in history, right? of the timeline of Islam, right? Not necessarily in the proper sequence, you know what I'm saying? And it also tells you about other things that happen, was telling you about the interactions, you know what I'm saying, from, including Yaqub, you know what I'm saying, different things that had an impact on the timeline, you know what I'm saying? The only thing that's after them is when it says in the 140 at the end, when it says February 20th, 1934. You know what I mean? But yeah, the 1 and 14 is that's a history lesson without question. You know what I'm saying? The 1 and 36 is, for me at least, I'm saying, is a more like a social lesson. You know what I mean? Like I don't think I'm saying that as clearly as I should. It's a lesson that teaches you about the society that we live in right now. You know what I'm saying? On a certain level, it teaches you many things, but just from the standpoint that you're talking right now, you know what I mean? The 1 and 14 is a more historical lesson. The 1 and 40, or the 1 and 14 is a lesson that teaches you more about the history of the interactions between God and the devil. The 1 and 40 teaches you more about the science of the interactions between God and the devil. You know what I'm saying? And the 1 and 10, of course, is an introduction to this. Yeah, 793rd, my grandfather, my grandfather, Lord Shakim, just won. Yeah, the Green Book, boiled eggs and fried chicken. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. I learned that from my grandparents. Stopping for food or bathroom might have cost you your life. Yeah, y'all all bringing it up. The Green Book, 793rd said Green Book style. And my people used to have the whole picnic basket with sandwiches of different types, boiled eggs, thermos of drinks, hot and cold for trips. Yeah, we had all that, but you know what it is? One of the other main things that they would be bringing like tuna fish salad and shit like that. And I don't eat that. Like a lot of the other stuff, the sandwiches, they always want to put mayonnaise. I don't eat mayonnaise. You know what I'm saying? So, I leaned on the chicken. But yeah, we had all that other stuff. VC Realm said that Green Book vibes is still around. Yeah, it's not necessarily a book like that, but yeah, there is towns. I'll stop for gas and notice motherfuckers looking at me. You know what I'm saying? The one time, it's like I pull into the gas station, and when I walked in, right, I noticed they was looking at me like, "Fuck you doing here?" You know what I mean? Like that's peculiar. Fuck is he doing here? And it wasn't till I was pulling out of the gas station that I seen they was flying the bars and stars, the Dixie flag. Woo! Next thing you know, those wheels were screeching, son. Got up out of there. Oh man. I teach the fast and now he said, over here riding around, none of this food looks good enough to cop. You probably go to West Side Market. They got one on Knowledge Culture in 7th Avenue. There's one on Knowledge Culture and 5th Avenue. And there's one on 3rd Avenue and about 11th Street. It's about 11th, 12th, 10th Street, something like that. I mean, they usually have something good, but you got some supply chain things going on right now. That's why I even noticed my orders, people that ordered shirts, yeah, that's one of the things going on. This, and I think maybe I don't know if people is quitting at the factory or something. I gotta find out what's going on. They don't want me to have to regroup, man, and start getting my stuff from China. So halftime had a question to whoever said steamed veggies was a bad idea. Peace. Why did that cause you those issues? I would think it's probably because of gas. But somebody with more uh expertise in dietary law should probably speak on that. Now, as I said, if you go if you go the Muslim route, you will be studying for 35 to 50 years just to learn the language dialect of Arabia, then the Holy Quran. VC Realm, so you've been in the gas station and seen them flying Dixie too, huh? Yeah, listen, man. When you from New York, man, listen, talking about driving experiences, the fastest I've ever driven in my life was coming through Alabama and Mississippi. I probably made it through both states and back to Georgia. Or however, I was on. It was a road. We was in Houston, and from Houston, we went through New Orleans. Like we went straight across, and then it was another highway that went like diagonal like this, and then that highway that went diagonal, it reached back to 40. It reached back to 40 and over there by the part of Tennessee that's closer to Asheville. Like I know on one end you got Nashville, and on the other end you got another big town, and then I think it's Memphis in the middle. But over there on the part of 40 that's close to Asheville. See that I know over there. I know that road. I know, what I'm saying, the ins and outs over there. But that road that I was on, coming from Houston till I got there, at first it was exciting because we came through New Orleans and shit, you know what I'm saying? Lake Pontchartrain, or, see little shit, But then when I seen the sign that said Alabama, Mississippi, like, oh, man. Listen, I got on some shit like my grandfather did, man. We ain't stopping. Hey, wait a minute. That's Alabama right there? All right, let's stop right here. Fill the tank to the rim. Because we ain't stopping. $793 said was a cold hot dog eating child and still do eat boiled eggs at all times of the day. Had the salt and pepper shaker and the hand baby wipes for the hands in the 70s. Yeah, I mean, boiled eggs was a big thing in the back in the days. You don't see it as much now, but even into the 90s, and sometimes you still see it. There's stores that got boiled eggs on the corner. I mean on the counter. BC Rail said said it's a mix, depends on which state and the beliefs of the people, because some fly the USA flag and still be on the same time. Yeah, Young Dub, some sundown towns and states. Yeah, Young Dub, when I drove out there too one time. I came, I think 40 also goes through Little Rock. And Little Rock was friendly though, but I wasn't in that part. I, I was only about 40 by the highway. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't where they did the video. The H what was banging in Little Rock. I wasn't in that part. But yeah, I came in Arkansas. I seen a lot of states. I ain't never seen none of the PNC. I ain't never been like to the Midwest. Furthest I've been across is I guess Michigan. But I've seen the Southwest. Of course, the Southeast. If you Black, it's hard to have not seen the Southeast. At least if well, yeah, even for them, they family is still from like if you're in Chicago or California, your family is still from Mississippi and Alabama. So we pretty much, if you Black, you've seen the Southeast. Or Ta'ad said, in terms of he's answering Halftime's question right here about what it was about the steamed vegetables. Must have been that I didn't steam the broccoli enough yet. I'm not sure. I've come to learn that breaking the fast with fruits is much more pleasant. I didn't get gas from the broccoli, just mad cramps. Yeah, nah, certain place I don't play. Play with them. Especially because I'm gonna tell you another thing. I'm gonna tell you another thing just in general. See, any type of staunch racist, right? Any type of, you get a, just a relatively hardcore racist, mid-level hardcore racist and up, right? Or any person that's just, like a type of person, like, you got them people, you ever know somebody from down south, right? That, like, something can happen, right? Like, a person could drop something on the floor, right? And they be like, nah, see, I'm from the South, man. We don't do that, man. Nah, I'm from the South, Or they'll do something, especially if they do something chivalrous from a woman, for a woman, I'm from the South, we do things, I'm from the South. See, a person like that of any, any of the human families, right? When they hear a New York accent, or you get pulled over by the police and you pull out your New York driver's license, see, if you're not from New York, you wouldn't understand. Like, I'm pretty sure it's other cities like that. Like, if you're from Chicago or LA or just one of these cities where they're absolutely sure that only uppity niggas come from over there. That's not, it's just, when you show the police your license, right, you look at it and look back at you. Hey, what you doing around these parts? That's you know what I'm saying? Like, you just get someplace. Look, you asking somebody something, right? You like, hey man, where's such and such and such, right? And the first thing they say, you from New York? Nigga, I ain't asked you that, man. I asked you where's this, right? Yeah, where you from? Remember one time the police pulled me over in Virginia, but now on the 95 side, on the side where they got like, it's like a 50 miles of bridges or some shit. You know what I'm saying? We was on that side. The police pulled me over. Now listen, he pulled me over for doing 51 in a 50. See that? Y'all wonder why New York niggas is the way they is. Like, he pulled me over for doing 51 miles an hour in a 50-mile-an-hour zone. Right? So he's like, yo, something. You got any drugs, whatever, da. So he's like, yo, let me see in the trunk. Right? So look, this is the funny shit, right? The nigga, as soon as I open the trunk, right, he takes a mad deep breath. Hey, nigga, what the fuck is you, a K9, nigga? Fuck is you trying to do and shit, right? So he asked me a couple more questions, right? But everything is official. So then he says to me, listen, we're gonna have a problem with people running drugs up and down this highway. Listen, how many people have ever gotten a speech like that? Yeah, we good right now. He ain't give me no ticket today. That's what he pulled me over for. Just to tell me, look, running drugs up and down this highway is a problem. See, that's why that's why we will talk, man. People like, yo, man, why y'all get the fuck away from me, man? Yeah. The worst thing you could say to the police? Do you know the worst thing you could say to the police after you show them a New York ID? I'm going to leave that open to the floor. I ain't going to answer that one right away. I want to see if y'all know the worst thing you could say to the police after you show them a New York ID. Yeah, now his boy said, yeah, he been from the Northeast and from Oakland. So yeah, he know he's saying, like, listen, man. And listen, especially if you go someplace where some cats from New York already had to turn up, oh man. Have time to remember that old Pace Picante sauce commercial. New York City, get a rope. Nah, I gotta look that up. I can't think of it right now. District 120 said happened to me leaving the gym and got pulled over by a college campus officer. Like, bruh, you're not even real. You ain't even a real police. Oh man. Ultra, I said for me, Arkansas was the worst state I've traveled through. I mean, Arkansas was bad because Arkansas is called a Razorback state. So that's pigs. Um, so Arkansas was one of those states, right, where like the whole Highway 40, you just passing just industrial animal farms, man. Pigs, cows, chickens. It's just every truck you pass, like, oh my word, put the fucking AC on, close the windows. Have time to say, I know my rights. What you stopping me for? We ain't do nothing. All that's like right below. That's like right below the actual worst thing you could say to them. See, I'm gonna give y'all a hint. It's not even that contentious. It's not even nothing. It's not even nothing. It's nothing like it's an innocent statement. It's not something like where you try to be contentious with them. Now, I was born said to me the worst state to travel through is Virginia. Yeah, that's what they told me. That's what they told me. Uh, we're gonna have, you know, we don't want any drug running on this. What's the problem? Nah, that's not the worst thing. That's probably on the third tier. Probably on the third tier. We give it like another 30 seconds. And then I'm gonna tell you the worst thing you can say to the police after you show a New York ID. Anything else? Nah. Anything else is probably up there, but nah, this is we almost there. A few more minutes, a couple more seconds. All right, here we go. I'm going to tell y'all the absolute worst thing you could say to the police after you show a New York ID is, well, in New York, listen, don't ever say to the police, well, in New York, the rules is like this. boy, boy, you ain't in New York now. This ain't New York. You going to jail. Don't ever say to the police, well, in New York, you can do what? Oh, I see. You one of them uppity niggers. You think you gonna come down here and change our way of life? Ah, just a word to the wise. Word to the wise. If you live in New York, you have a New York ID. You know what I'm saying? If you move to New York and you change your license, word to the wise, never start a sentence with, well, in New York with the police anywhere outside of New York. Like their whole demeanor, the whole look on their face changes. Like, see, if I would have said to that police, well, in New York, they don't pull you over for doing 51 in a 50. We'd have been going to jail. Niggas in the street too. You know, that's one of the first things you get out in one of these, little towns. You get out in one of these little towns and shit, you know, the gangster niggas over there let you know that too. Like, son, the same New York. This is not New York, son. I suppose maybe, I don't know how it works. Because, you know, I've always had, also on the license, they don't just say what state, you know, it says, where you from? You know what I'm saying? Talking about Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens. So, they know you a big city nigga. You said you got to think of all of what resides and functions in Virginia. You're talking about like the intelligence apparatus. Or the what would you call them? That's what you're talking about. I mean, I know you got like all the, you know, like the NSA and uh, you know, all those intelligence organizations is based out there. Any advice for someone moving? Yeah, yeah, the military, but mostly the military intelligence is in Virginia. But any advice for someone moving to now? Why? Uh, I would say wait some months because I gotta you know, where's my conspiracy theorist at? You know what I mean? Uh, I got a little conspiracy theory. We're gonna be able to measure it. I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna go on the record right now and make the prediction and make the prediction. Oh yeah, Newport News is there, but you know, Annapolis is in Maryland. But you know that whole, you know, what they call the DMV, that whole district up in there. You know what I'm saying? And down some on the 81 side too. Don't sleep on over there. You see the shit over there is super secret. Um, yeah, stuff in, you know, in West Point is down there. It's a lot of stuff down there. But I have a prediction, right? That uh Eric Adams, right, who's the black candidate, right? Medina, I got sincere peace. The black candidate, right, Eric Adams, I predict that he's gonna win, right? Uh, but that years, years of dysfunction, right, is gonna fall on his head. Like a lot of times, a politician, right, like just in general, laws that's passed, right? Most of them is not effective immediately. You know what I'm saying? It's a period of time, you know, even if it becomes effective immediately, right? There's a while before the impact is fully known. You know, anything where you're dealing with a mass of people, you know, the change is not going to occur, you know, as quickly as if you're dealing with an individual or only a few people. You know what I'm saying? La love, Lord Hashim. That's it for my juice, man. Still got some ginger tea left. What you said? Oh, Navy submarine schools in Groton, Connecticut. Yeah, you know, they got stuff spread around because, you know, with that military stuff, it's you know, they spread it around because it's so much money in the budget for that. So by spreading it around to every state, right, it gives all the politicians an incentive to sign on to the bill because they're going to say it's bringing jobs back to their state. But what was the good topic you talking about, VC Realm? But getting back to what I was saying though, with Eric Adams, I hit you up, Hashim, no doubt. Getting back to Eric Adams, right? I predict that the years of dysfunction that has been in the city is going to become evident during his term. Like de Blasio has been fucking up. Like this is look, he won somehow by default. You know what I'm saying? And Bloomberg, he started doing things in the city, right, that is not going to be able to survive what de Blasio has done. You know what I'm saying? Like Bloomberg, that was one of the things that he said when he first got in office, is that one of the things he said when he first got in office is that New York is a high-end product. So he made New York, expensive. You know what I'm saying? And that was one of the things that kind of expedited the gentrification. You know what I'm saying? But like one example of what I'm saying is, you had this gentrification, right, with a housing boom, right? But you got people paying $3,500, right? Like think about anybody that's been to a law school in Mecca, right? You got that building right there on the corner. Let's say they paying $3,500 a month, right? But you in the projects, you live in the projects. You got the same view when you look out the window. You see the same view that the people in the projects got. The same store, the same crime, but they not paying $3,500. And now that de Blasio has done so much shit to deteriorate the amount of money that's flowing in the city, you know what I'm saying, along with the CV and everything, you know what I'm saying, that the economic impacts of everything that's been going on, and just that, he black. Yeah, it's the perfect time to get your shit off. Let it crash. Like, you know what I'm saying? So just saying that, at that point, then it'll be more opportunity, you know what I mean, where, you might could move in on one of these Caucasians that gentrified over here, right? And spent $2 million on a brownstone and shit, right? You might could wait till they shit go on foreclosure and get they shit. You know what I'm saying? You know, I've realized that you got to think ahead like that. That's how they be thinking. Like if I get an opportunity to get into the real estate, that's what I would do. PC Rum said in the 1800s, as territories started becoming states, they were still wild, anything goes. The transition periods of both, how it takes a while for those things to come to pass that are now of the normal, or how when Black people started to spread out to the inner city, spread out of the inner city of the city to further away from the downtown of any said city, to Black people moving from out the city to the inner suburbs. white flight in both instances. Then the newer generations of Black people moving to the further out suburbs, to the white people trying to move back into these downtowns of these cities. Yeah, I saw a documentary about that phenomenon that you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? I saw the Pruitt-Igoe. That's in St. Louis, right? I saw the Pruitt-Igoe documentary, and I also saw the documentary about what you're talking about right there. About the documentary was saying that when Black people started migrating en masse, because it was all related to Michael Brown and the way the power structure in the place in Ferguson was Caucasian, even though the population was original people. And they were saying that when Black people started migrating en masse to St. Louis, that the white people didn't want to live around them, so they started building suburbs all around there, so that whenever whatever issues came up when they voted, they could all vote how they feel and not have to deal with any type of issues that with Black people. You know what I'm saying? And so they started building all these suburbs, but then through Section 8, right, a lot of Black people started moving into those suburbs. So then you had white people move into a further out suburbs. You know what I'm saying? And, this process was taking place, but then eventually it reversed. And so the white people started moving back into the inner city and started, all the Black people start moving to the suburbs. But so it had happened so recently in some of these towns, that's why the power structure was still colored, right? While the populations was original people. Right. And then it said, in some of these parts of New York, you paying thousands, and you come outside and it's homeless people sleeping, you know what I'm saying? It's, crazy people talking to themselves and, wilding out, pushing people down steps and shit, you know what I'm saying? So, I've never understood how they plan to work that out. There's only a few areas where the gentrification is so complete, right, that I see it as them having like an area where it's like, y'all could be a community, you know what I'm saying? And, when if things get bad, y'all could kind of buckle in. But, other places, it's like, yeah, you're going to have to go back where you're from. PC Ron said at one point, St. Louis was like the New York City of the west of it was like New York City west of the Mississippi, and Midwest tied only to Chicago before they passed us up. But the population just spread out to the near suburbs, which is St. Louis County. Yeah, I mean, St. Louis, St. Louis was very, what's the word I want to use? Like, for instance, Fred Sanford was from St. Louis. St. Louis was one of the places like that, where it's like, yo, whatever character got introduced, he from St. Louis. So saying, I'm saying that I understand what you're saying. Like, yeah, St. Louis was like like before I knew geography to know where St. Louis was, I knew there was a place called St. Louis where it must have been shaking over there. First U.S. Summer Olympics. It's also, I heard a guy say St. Louis was the last place in America where it was slavery. Is that true? Yeah, this is a crazy story, man. Home invasion. You said here it was a home invasion. Hitman hollers girl got shot in the cheek while on a video call. Oh man, that's ridiculous. So VC Rum said he heard that. VC Rum said he heard that as well. That St. Louis was the last place in America where it was slavery. Oh, so his girl, they was having a shootout and she got shot in the head, but she survived. Yo, man, what is the world coming to, man? What is the world coming to? Wait, what? 73rd entered and grazed her cheek and exited her back. Yo, I'm just saying this is, I mean, circumstance is circumstance. You gotta do what you gotta do, but I'm just saying, this is what we call civilized societies, man. This is what we call this. This is what we call this that we living in, man. When shit like this is happening. Who knows, man? But yeah, it's about that time, and you know, we've been on here a little minute. Uh, this fruit and everything has digested. So I guess I'm gonna take it down right now. Go over here. I think I'm gonna get some salmon. The lady's over there, she got it. Oh, you said Missouri, probably was you've heard Missouri was the last place where it was slavery, but maybe not necessarily St. Louis. But yeah, time for me to go set it off for the day. You know what I'm saying? Time for me to go set it off for the day. Head over to the G building. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody. You know what I'm saying? We were successful doing our fast. Like I said, for the rest of the day, I'm going to just refuel tomorrow, hit the bar, hit the floor. And sign off. And I'll probably be seeing y'all on Friday. Peace.